friends, welcome back to another mighty new video. Today we are going to read Lifeline's story on Apex Legends' Pathfinder's quest. I absolutely love Lifeline, and I did a video for her stories from the Outlands story and even cosplayed while watching it. Don't forget to watch till the end of the video so you can hear my thoughts and theories about what I've just read, and I'd love to hear your theories too. So without further ado, let's start reading. Chapter 1. Hey, Ch01. Pathfinder Memory Log, Day 1. Today, I hit the open road on a transport in space to meet my friend Ch01, but her thousands of #1 fans call her Lifeline. The message I found gave me the first batch of clues that I think can lead me to my creator. There was one clue that looked familiar, and that's Ch01. After having my life saved a number of times by AJ's heel drone dog, I remember reading its system signature as Ch01 Inc. Maybe she can help. Hey, maybe she's my creator. Clue box, transmission clues, Ch01. Something to do with Lifeline's heel drone. The future of the Outlands. Dr. Emily The event, Aleki, and Iris. Self-motivation quote, searching, one result found. Only a life lived for others is a life worthwhile. Albert Einstein. Lifeline's biography. Real name Ch01, age 24. Homeworld Samath. Tactical ability Doc Heel Drone. Passive ability Combat Medic. Ultimate ability Care Package. Ch01, aka Lifeline, isn't someone you would expect to find in the Apex games. The child of wealthy war profiteers, she left home when she learned of the damage her family had caused and enlisted in the Frontier Corps, a humanitarian organization that aids frontier communities in need. She's since devoted her life to helping others and joined the Apex games to fund the Frontier Corps with her winnings. Since no one in the games is innocent, they all know what they signed up for. And every one of her victories means help for those in need. Lifeline has no problem engaging in the popular blood sport. Or so she tells herself. She may seem sarcastic and callous, but deep down, she wants to help people and make the world a better place. If that means taking a few people down in the process, so be it. Never quit. That's how you win. Lifeline. Interview transcript with Lifeline. Hello, Lifeline. It's so fun to meet with you while neither of us is fighting. Lifeline, thank you. Not a problem, my sweet metal friend. And you can call me AJ. That's my name, AJ Ch01. Wow, I didn't know you had a name. Cool, AJ. Ain't often that us legends get to chat about something that doesn't involve the games. Or Mirage. It's always us just boasting about wins, reminiscing about those who just couldn't make it past the first ring, or egging each other on while we wait for the drop. I remember the first time Crypto came on board. Never seen anyone shut up Mirage so quickly. Then we have Ch01 Inc. AI Logic. Ch01 Inc. was originally founded in 2445 as AI Logic, one of the first companies established in the frontier, opening as a small shop in the harbor district of Angel City or Planet Angelia. AI Logic provided services to local businesses through repairing, updating, and reprogramming electronics and robotics. Through the generations, the company evolved with its surroundings, developing and specializing in drone technology while expanding beyond Angelia. Proudly forming a partnership with Kodai Industries, AI Logic supplied every colonized planet in the frontier with their #1 product, security monitoring systems, SMS drones, which function as security cameras, motion detectors, and communication and recording devices. As the IMC expanded beyond the frontier into the Outlands, AI Logic was first in line to support those citizens who undertook the year-long expedition to the unexplored region. Today, the AI Logic Outlands chapter, Ch01 Inc., supplies the Outlands with more than 100 outlets and its flagship factory on the beautiful planet of Samath. Yes, my best friend does talk a lot. I love that. Right, so what brings you my way? Need some patching up? Someone hurt? I don't know. It's possible that my creator is hurt. I haven't heard from them ever. Still on that search, huh? To each their own, I guess. I wish I was more like ya and didn't know my family. Of course, I wasn't always this way. I got to be grateful, I guess in some way. I had everything I needed, everything I wanted, but at some big cost. That's the Ch01 way. Ch01? I saw that on your drone and in a recording. I heard about my creator. I can't believe everything we went through with my parents and it led you right back here. But of course, it's on dock. That's where we both came from. My family owns Ch01, which I used to believe focused on safety and security. That's how they sold themselves to potential clients. It didn't matter who they were or which side they were on. Ch01 made them feel like they had just the right support to give. The people of the Outlands didn't know much about support, and I don't blame them because, in times of war, you take all the support you can get. It's been in the family for generations, but it was my parents who really took that thing to nowhere pretty. To them, the wars are nothing but a paycheck. I've heard about these wars ever since I woke up, but no one has really told me about them. It ain't exactly the most fun topic to chat about, unless you're Bangalore. I bet that girl could go all day. Of course, she's not on the best side of history. Not to say there's actually a good side, but it ain't no secret that the IMC had some part in all 4 wars. Corporate wars, Titan Wars, Frontier War, and even the Civil War out here in the Outlands, though they didn't even break a sweat in that one. Wow, those are a lot of wars. How is anyone still alive? I ask myself that every day, Path. These wars go back quite some time too. All about power, all about greed. When I found out that my family's company was profiting off the Frontier War, I spent the next year teaching myself everything there was to know about what started this whole deadly thing. I guess you could say I was trying to convince myself that what my parents were doing was for something good, but it didn't really turn out the way I hoped. Maybe that's how Hammond himself would feel if he saw this place today. Hammond? I've heard of Hammond Robotics. Maybe he's my creator. You want to start way back there, huh? Give this a scan. It's all I found during my search for the truth. Port connected, AJ Shea's tablet. 2122 to 2192, the impact and rise of Hammond Engineering. In 2122, Sheffield's asteroid impacts St. Louis, Missouri, Earth, nearly causing a human extinction-level event. An international scientific team is dispatched to the impact site, led by Dr. Sam Sheffield, for whom the asteroid and the resulting canyon are named. After a 24-hour expedition deep into the impact site, Dr. Heinrich Henry Hammond emerges. Reports indicate his companions died from exposure to a powerful unknown element dubbed Element X. 5 years after the Sheffield impact, Hammond presides over an influential international corporation called Hammond Engineering. With exclusive access to Element X, they make radical, rapid breakthroughs in the contemporary understanding of physics. Meanwhile, the strain of climate change and overpopulation takes a toll on Earth's resources, and the quality of life degrades for all but the wealthy. The prospect of leaving Earth to alleviate these problems becomes popular, but no practical solution exists to make it a reality. Equipped with privileged scientific insights, Hammond seizes the opportunity to pioneer new advances in interstellar colonization, communications, and commercialization. In 2187, Hammond Engineering unveils the world's first operational interstellar jump drive, which allows spacecraft to cross vast distances at velocities approaching light speed. The first jump drive expedition uncovers habitable planets in nearby solar systems. Today, these are known as the core systems. 2092 to 2292, the core systems. Fast fortunes are made by harvesting and transporting resources with jump drive-equipped ships. Hammond Engineering, already a leader in advanced robotics, produces rare alloys from the ores gained in their interstellar mining operations. These are used to build robotic mechanisms for a variety of industrial functions. As Heinrich Hammond nears the end of his long natural life, he arranges a gradual drawdown of his involvement in Hammond Engineering. However, Hammond Engineering remains a key player in the core systems, where corporations maintain trade and communication routes vital to the region's survival. Attempts to regulate these corporations through central interplanetary governance are made on several occasions, but ultimately fail due to the organization's political and economic sway. Hammond Engineering anticipates eventual hostilities with many rival corporations and begins secretly orchestrating a series of political machinations, business mergers, and acquisitions within the core systems. These initiatives span nearly a century, ending in the formation of the system-spanning conglomerate known as the Interstellar Manufacturing Corporation, or IMC. All Hammond-branded business, including Hammond Engineering, became its subsidiaries. 2292 to 2442, the frontier. The atmosphere of this period is one of corporate feudalism. Tensions rise as competition for resources grows among the core systems' powerful corporate entities. Freelance explorers are hired to find new sources of raw materials. These expeditions lead to the discovery of the frontier, a far-off zone of star systems containing an unusually dense number of habitable planets. Travel to the frontier exceeds the distance traversed in any previous human expedition by orders of magnitude. The trip requires an enormous investment in technology and personnel that only a handful of corporations can afford. As the galaxy's leading authority on interstellar exploration, the IMC orchestrates its most ambitious mission to date, deploying fleets of pathfinding colony ships to establish routes to the frontier. This begins the new space race. During this period, many ships are lost due to accidents, equipment failure, or unknown causes. However, some expeditions successfully make landfall and begin establishing the frontier's first outposts. Along with the new wave of expeditions come a massive increase in the development of robotic AI. To assist the settlers in building their colonies, Hammond Robotics develops a series of semi-autonomous farming equipment based on antique military exoskeletons. Described as glorified tractors in satirical news feeds of the time, they are better known today as Titans. 2442 to 2671, the corporate wars and return to the frontier. As frontier exploration continues, the IMC's resources are divided between supporting its interests in the core systems and its new ventures in the frontier. This division of focus is seen as a weakness by its rival corporations, which launch a series of orchestrated attacks against the IMC that initiated the corporate wars. The IMC drastically scales back all investments in its frontier expeditions, leaving its colonists to their own devices. Over several generations of shifting intercorporate alliances and implementary wars, the IMC reasserts control over the core systems. The conflict yields significant leaps forward in technology, derived from the aggressive development of the first combat titans. However, the IMC's victory comes at a cost to its planets and people. Years of warfare left the core systems depleted of arable land and natural resources. This is yet again a strong demand for replenishment. To fulfill this demand, the IMC looks to its previously abandoned investment in the frontier. Its envoys discover that the descendants of the original IMC pioneers have prospered. Many more worlds have been colonized and all have access to a bounty of natural resources. The IMC asserts eminent domain over the frontier, citing its investments dating back 350 years. It sends military fleets to establish control of the region, builds new manufacturing and mining operations, and displaces thousands of frontier citizens in the process. The colonies reject the IMC's claim to the region. As industrial production continues apace, diplomatic talks begin. 2671 to 2692, the Titan Wars. After years of failed diplomacy, the citizens of the frontier established the earliest form of the frontier militia. This new resistance grows in numbers and begins retaking contested lands using Titans and other war materials stolen from the IMC. The militia's many skirmishes with IMC garrisons become the opening salvo of the Titan Wars. The IMC mobilizes hundreds of thousands of soldiers from the core systems to occupy the frontier, rooting out militia enclaves and bringing to bear large numbers of state-of-the-art Titans. The Titan Wars strongly favored the IMC. The early militia's lack of unified leadership and antiquated military technology put it at a severe disadvantage. Within a few years, the IMC eliminates nearly all of the militia's forces. The planet Gridiron becomes the official center of IMC operations in the frontier and home to the first Hammond Robotics Titan factory. The planet Demeter, a waypoint between the core systems and the frontier, acts as a crucial fueling station, colloquially referred to as the gateway, for IMC reinforcements to make the final jump to Gridiron. 2700s, the Frontier War. 15 years after the Titan Wars, the last militia fleet discovers a colony under siege by IMC hunter garrisons. The colony is led by former IMC pilot James McAllen, who had vanished into the untouched Yuma system after staging a mutiny 15 years prior. In exchange for help in evacuating the colonists, McAllen offers to provide the militia with support and intelligence to destroy the IMC's critical refueling station on Demeter. At the Battle of Demeter, McAllen outmaneuvers his former commanding officer, IMC Vice Admiral Graves, and sacrifices his own life to destroy the gateway. Moved by his friend's dedication, Graves defects from the IMC and takes over McAllen's role, leading the militia to victory. With the destruction of the Demeter installation, IMC forces are cut off from reinforcements in the core systems. The militia regains its footing and claims a significant portion of frontier space, establishing the planet Harmony as Militia Central Command. There, the militia launches the Vanguard Initiative, an effort to produce frontier-made Titans as weapons to defeat the IMC. Titans are descendants of fledgling military exoskeletons. In addition to the obvious combat applications, unarmed Titans are used for labor in demanding industries like salvage and cargo transport. They are also used in special applications such as deep space search and rescue, and are very effective in inhospitable environments. The use of Titans is widespread throughout the frontier in combat and in civilian life. We'll have to cut the video here for now because it seems that we have a lot to absorb for this chapter alone. So be sure to follow along so we can find out what happens next. But for what we've learned during the past readings that we have so far, Lifeline is the daughter of the wealthy Ch01 Inc. mogul. I have asked this question a long time before. I said that I didn't understand what the Apex games meant. Like, why are they all fighting? Like, who's the good guy and the bad guy? And it is the first time that I've actually heard from an actual character in the game that she believes there are no good sides. Both the people joining the games have their own reasons why they joined the games, but it doesn't exactly mean that what they're doing is also good. Like, let's say Ch01 is just there profiting from the games. They like having the war. They like pushing it to the limits because as long as people are getting hurt, as long as people need their technology, they will continue to profit from these wars. But then Lifeline, of course, saw this and she doesn't want to be part of her family. So she joins the frontiers in order to be a combat medic. But that doesn't also mean she's doing good. By joining the medic and earning money from her winnings and supporting the frontier, she's still supporting the war. Acknowledging that she is also not doing good even though she left the bad side or what she considers to be the bad side doesn't mean she is on the good side. That's amazing. There's a lot of story going on, especially when it comes to the Frontier Corps and how they were formed. In just the first chapter alone, they've introduced who the IMC is, who Hammond Robotics is, and who started all of it. What's interesting is that Hammond Robotics, or Dr. Hammond himself, had a really big vision and a really good reason as to why he created Hammond Robotics. Unfortunately, due to the advancing technologies, people take advantage of what Hammond Robotics has built so far and used it for their personal gains. Everybody got greedy, including the IMC. The IMC turns out took control of Hammond Robotics. The IMC is not the military itself. The IMC stands for Interstellar Manufacturing Corporation. They kind of created the Titans. And which makes me kind of curious as to what Titanfall the actual game is before, Apex Legends. We should be playing that. And I will soon enough. I think playing Titanfall will really give us more understanding on what is currently happening. Titanfall came before the Apex games. So probably a lot of the story is even deeper there. So we'll find out soon enough. People like Bangalore works for the IMC. And now we understand why she's so dedicated because, like AJ Ch said, they all think that they're doing the right thing. But really, in a place like war, there's just nothing fair. Everything here is neither good nor bad. But anyway, we've run out of time and we need to end the video. So please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you want to learn what other questions Pathfinder asks and what other answers Lifeline has for Pathfinder. I would also like to know your thoughts. What do you think is the IMC all about? Even I know we've already read it, but it is still not stated what exactly their goal is in the Apex games. Maybe just profit? Maybe there's a future and a more political standing that we don't know about? And I'd also want to know your reaction. Now knowing more about the IMC and Hammond Robotics, what do you think about Revenant being from Hammond? I now actually understand why people are saying that Revenant is about 300 plus years old. It makes sense. He was built when Hammond Robotics was still around, and it's not around anymore because the IMC took over it. So tell me your thoughts in the comment section below. Until then, my name is Yan, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!